Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dave and today I'll be making another optimization video. Now this is going to be specifically for Steam, and this will be for anyone that has any kind of bottleneck in their computers currently, be it desktop or laptop. This is on a Windows 10 machine, the latest whatever the latest update is. I don't even know what it is, like 20 point something now. So I would recommend this for anyone that has a GPU bottleneck. Most of this stuff is for people that have GPU bottlenecks. I want to say if you have a 4 GB card and lower, I suggest all of this, but if you also have an 8 GB card, feel free to do any of this. But honestly, even at 4 GB, you probably don't really need to do this. Although if you're using onboard graphics, I do recommend most of this, and you may or may not see some performance in games. So first you're going to want to go up into the left side of Steam. You're going to want to click on Steam, Settings. Then you want to go to the in-game tab. First thing I suggest doing is rebinding Shift tab to something else that isn't going to get in the way. For example, equals. In my case, I put it to equals. This is also the same place where you can get your FPS counter. Most people recommend putting high contrast, but honestly, I recommend not putting the high contrast just because if you're like me and you like to use instant replays, the contrast actually gets warped a little bit. What I mean by this is the numbers on your screen isn't actually fully covered with the high contrast. In fact, it's only like half of it that's covered with a high contrast. It's really hard to explain. I'll try to put like an example of what I mean on the screen, or the way it would look. At least I'll try to like draw it out or something for you guys. But I suggest not putting it on high contrast if you like to use instant replays. If you don't care, go ahead, turn it on if you just want to see it better. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to interface. This is usually where most of the optimization stuff will come in. Now, please do keep in mind, you will not be seeing 100 FPS boosts from this. You'll probably see 1 or 2 FPS if you have like a mid-range PC. You could possibly also see maybe 4 to 5 FPS on a lower end machine. So this is really nothing because Steam is technically already pretty optimized for the way it is. So jumping straight into it, in the interface tab, keep everything the way it is on the top. Do not touch this unless you want to and you want to mess around with it. I don't even have an icon for Steam, so for me it's fine. Disable it. Sure, why not? Run Steam when computer starts. Now if your machine is so low end that it lags when you run Steam by default, go ahead and turn this off. For my case, this is fine. I can keep this on. In fact, this makes my machine a tad bit slower, but it's not even that noticeable. So, address bar, this is this stuff up here. If you're the type of person that likes to view marketplace stuff, I suggest keeping this on so you could just double click it, copy it, and put it in a Google page or something. So you can browse the market, the Steam market on a Google page or something. So the next thing is enable smooth scrolling in web view. My guess is that this would be either using it on Google, using Steam on Google, or using the Google on the overlay, the Steam overlay. Turn this off if you want, leave it on if you want, doesn't really matter. This, although these 3 next ones I suggest taking a look at. And it's enable GPU acceleration when rendering web views. GPU acceleration off. Hardware encoding off. This I recommend keeping on, but if you feel like you don't need it, go ahead and turn it off. I'm gonna leave it on just because I can. And we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next part of this. Library. I suggest just turning everything on in here by default. But if you want to have things auto loading in the community places on Steam, go ahead and turn it on and turn it off. Uncheck it. But I'll just keep it checked on just because. Low performance mode. Also, disable certain graphical movements, aka transitions and extra effects on Steam. You don't need any of this stuff. This is not needed. This is like, it's a luxury to have. Honestly, you could just turn it off, be a normal person. Over here, what I recommend doing is not limiting your stuff, but this is if you have fast internet, don't limit it. If you have slower internet, do limit it so other people in your house or wherever you are can use the internet as well. Clear cache, I recommend doing this every now and then, maybe at least like once a month. Clear the cache here, could fix some game files or whatever. The cloud, well, keep the cloud as is. We're gonna go ahead and switch down to web browser. So this is the shift tab. This is the overlay browser. I recommend deleting both every now and then as well. And shader precache, I recommend this on for anyone that uses Vulkan or any kind of Vulkan applications. I recommend this being on. So now you're gonna hit OK. You're gonna have to restart the page and then just wait. So once Steam boots up again, you can go back and check interface. Everything here is checked on. Everything's on. All right, so it's good. That's gonna do it for this video. I hope this helps for anyone that has a really low end PC. But other than that, don't expect too much out of this. This was just an idea video. Now, if you enjoyed or if this helps, even if this doesn't help, please leave a like. Comment what you think. If you think you can help other people, or if I got anything wrong, please do help down in the description below. And also, as always, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.